Assalamu alaikum everyone. I think we can start with the hosts whenever you're ready.
Assalamu alaikum and a very good afternoon, all of you. I am Zunair Amjad, your host, along with my co host Natasha Shehzad. This webinar has been organized by Career Planning Society, Departmental Facilitation and Support Club. This session is especially organized to enlighten you people with the guidance and procedure related to two major international scholarship programs, SUSI Scholarship and Sister to Sister Exchange Program. Our session will basically consist of three parts. First of all, you will be provided with the basic and necessary information about both programs. We also have two of the best alumni with us who will be sharing their experience and ideas with us. In the end, we will have a brief question answer session in which you can ask about your queries and doubts. So before proceeding any further, let me call Muhammad Azaz Ehsan to recite a few verses from Holy Quran.
أعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم والعاديات ضبحا فالموريات قدحا فالمغيرات صبحا فأثرن به نقعا فوسطن به جمعا إن الإنسان لربه لكنود صدق الله العظيم.
Jazakallah Azad Hassan. So let's start the discussion with basic information of SUSI exchange program. This program will be intensive, academic and highly interactive for selected students. This is the opportunity for all those energetic students who wants to become effective leaders. Institute of this undergraduate exchange program will consist of seminars, discussion, readings, presentation and lectures. Along with this, have an opportunity to engage themselves in different sort of educational and cultural activities. And as per expenses are concerned, US government will be covering all that. So in short, I can say that it's the best opportunity to learn, to gain and to interact with international students. As per the procedure is concerned, then you have to fill the scholarship form and after that, the US Embassy will interview the selected students. So that's about scholarship program. And also Zunaira mentioned earlier that we have a best alumni with us and they will guide you about that.
Thank you so much, Natasha. Now I'll be telling about the second program, Sister to Sister. Sister to Sister is a fully funded summer exchange program specifically for female students. Females aged between 18 to 24 can grasp this golden opportunity to attend summer courses at prestigious universities of America. This exchange program basically This exchange program basically seeks to give Pakistani females the tools that they need to get beyond cultural barriers, the barriers which prevent them from pursuing competitive and rewarding careers. These young women will acquire the knowledge, experience, and exposure which is required to overcome these barriers. This will also lead them to contribute positively to the overall development of Pakistan. Applicants must have a, uh, Applicants must be proficient in English language and should have a CGPA above 3. And the most amazing thing about this program is that it is fully funded. It not only covers your tuition fees, but also visa fees, travel cost, accommodation, and food. So I must say that it's a full-fledged package.
So as we are done with previous section, so before inviting our alumni of today's event, I want to say thank you to both of you for your time with us. No, I want to tell you about something about Mr. Mohsen Ali. Mr. Mohsen Ali belongs to Sakhar Sindh. He has vast experience in youth activism and community services. He has bachelor degree in education, B.Ed honors from IBA Sakhar University. He has served as UN volunteer for civic education. Mr. Mohsen attended SUSI Student Leaders Program on comparative public policy making at UMass Amritsar. His interest lies in civic education, community services, youth leadership, and activism. So I want to invite Mr. Mohsen Ali to address you all.
Thank you so much, Natasha. I just want to confirm, am I audible to you?
Yes, you are audible.
Yes.
All right. Thank you so much. So, hello everyone, and thank you so much for organizing this program by student, society at NUML. And thank you so much, Ma'am Iram, for inviting me to interact with the students of your university. And before diving deeper into my experience as a SUSI alumni, I would request you to just kindly share my PowerPoint. Natasha, can you open the PowerPoint presentation that I shared with me?
I'm doing it. Just a minute.
All right, ma'am. Yeah. So as Natasha already described about this program, that this is like 6 week intensive summer program, which focuses on public policy making for undergraduate students. So this question comes in mind, everyone's mind, and when I was applying for this program, I was also had this question that how public policy making is relevant to my field. So public policy is relevant to any field because it is concern of public, be it from education department or English department, policies related to education, English, and other sort of problems and issues. These are our concern of us youth. So this is very relevant to us, and this program provides a deeper understanding about the United States systems and systems of, for instance, you will be learning about education system, political system, environmental laws and policies related to inclusivity, and we also compare these policies with the Pakistani policies. So it's that's why it's being called like comparative public policy making program. And also you will be involved in such activities where you will be enhancing your leadership skills. So not academically, but you are also being getting experience of meta curricular activities and extra activities. Apart from that, this academic program is shared by our host. This program happens at the University of Massachusetts in Amherst, which is already a beautiful state of America. And the city where we go for this program, Amherst, is amazing. It's a countryside of US. The university is amazing. It's a global campus. You will find people from all over the world, and this program also includes 2 weeks of study program, study tour to various cities of US. So we went to New York, we visited Boston, and and other batches also went to Washington DC and Virginia. I'm from the batch. I'm from 2020. We fortunately attended this program half online and half in person. So we are the very unique batch. So I will be also sharing my experience regarding the virtual component. Can we have that particular slide, please? Yeah. Can you just do it slideshow so that everyone can see, pictures and other stuff?
Just okay. Just a second, please.
Sure, man. Yeah. So, COVID-19 happened, and we were from that particular page where our half of the program happened virtually. So, the firstly we were like very confused that how it's going to be virtual, but the way they planned this program was really amazing. the academic coordinators and our mentors who were Americans. So we were a group of 40 people from Pakistan, and with us there were 10 students from University of Massachusetts. So it was, sort of collaborative program between Americans and Pakistanis, because we both were studying policies and we were comparing policy making of Pakistani system and of America. And they were highly collaborative. The lessons and the sessions that we used to have, they were very collaborative, and there were like virtual simulations, virtual activities were happening over there. We were giving presentation, and also we had like virtual community center visits as well. So we visited a survival center, which was an NGO, initiated by students of UMass, and they used to share how they do day-to-day practices, and how community services in Pakistan are different from the community service concept in the US. And then we had like organizations visits as well. So we used to visit various organizations. Sometimes we were meeting with local policymakers. Sometimes we were meeting with politicians. Sometimes we were meeting with educational institution leaders. So it was sort of really great, and it we didn't even feel okay we are attending this program online. It was very much interactive, and all the day, all the times, there was something new for us. So it was really great to learn from that. And we had like special guest sessions as well, where politicians, officials, and community-based organization heads used to visit us, and used to interact with us. And then, of course, this is not only academic program but also cultural exchange. So we were also, presenting our culture as well. So from the court of 40, we students were from all over the Pakistan, from Mansehra, Kashmir, Punjab, Islamabad, and interior Sindh, Karachi, every corner of Pakistan. So they used to share, we used to share our culture with Americans, and American also used to share their culture with us, because in America there is not only white population, but there are Hispanic Americans, there are Asian Americans, there are European Americans as well, Australians. So it was really sort of diverse population, and within that cohort of 10 people from US, people were from various diverse population. So it was really great to meet and greet with them. And at the end of every session, we used to have a blogging activity, where we used to share our reflections, that what we learned from this program, and how this program is helping us, and how we are enhancing our skills, and the way forward, what we will be doing after attending this program. And there are some virtual farewell memories as well, where everyone had their cultural dresses. Can we have that slide, please?
I did shift it. Let me just check.
Yeah, sure, ma'am. So I have also added some pictures in order to just let them the fresh experience of our journey. Yeah, so this was all about the virtual component. Now coming towards the in-person component, we visited US in June 2020 for 1 month, because usually this program happens for 5 to 6 weeks. But as I already told you, that our program was like sort of unique. Yeah, here you can see this picture where everyone has their sort of cultural dresses and cultural attires. So we shared our memories, and we also celebrated one Eid, because it was in the middle of our program. So we celebrated Eid al-Fitr, and we also shared our activities that we do on Eid day. So yeah, coming towards the in-person component, we attended this program in June 2020 this year. And as I already told you that, I personally had this misconception in mind that in US there are only either black or white people. There is no any other race or ethnicity, or people just go for visiting purpose, not like for, they are not natives, for instance. This was my conception. So just visiting that, visiting in person, I had culture shock. Like, I was literally, shocked to see the diverse American population within that particular university. And we used to have networking with them, with our group mates and the local residents whenever we feel free, or whenever we were done from our sessions. So, and the topics that we used to have, these hands-on advanced level sessions, and focusing on various skills, like for sometimes we were studying making of any policy, and then design thinking skills, leadership skills, grant writing, and writing how to get funding from various organizations. So these were really great experiences. And we also had field visits to different institutions, and different public as well as private institutions, NGOs, etc., and local community centers as well. We also visited synagogue, we went to local churches, we went to local masjid of Emirates. So it was really great to see such a diverse population within that particular community and particular city. And then we went to New York, and we visited United Nations headquarters. We visited various famous places that we used to see and watch in only on social media or in just series and videos. So it was really great to experience New York. And apart from that, we also visited Boston, in which we visited MIT, Massachusetts Institute of Technology, Harvard University, headquarter of Google, and headquarter of Facebook. And we used to explore all these famous places in the New York and Boston. And once we were returning to our home country, and we are about to call ourselves ambassadors. When we were in the US, we were representing Pakistan, so we were cultural ambassadors from Pakistan, and they used to call us like they are cultural ambassadors of Pakistan. It was really great feeling, especially for me, if I talk about to represent my country at international level. And once this program is done, you are not just okay, everything is just gone. Not at all. You become part of Park US Alumni Network, which is the number one alumni network of US in the Pakistan, having over 23,000 alumni. You become part of that, and where you have monthly reunions, you have different sessions going on, you have various activities happening. You can apply for grants, and you can do projects in your own community. They do fund programs and your projects as well. And of course, lifelong mentorship and guidance that you get from your mentors and your teachers. So what is the timeline of this year's program? So usually, 28th October is the last day, and the process is really simple. The eligibility is you should be 18 to 25 years old and have at least one semester left in undergraduate studies. So for instance, if you are in your sixth semester, you are the most eligible person to apply for this program. And if you are in third semester, so from 3 to 6, you are most eligible person to apply for this program. You must have interest in local, state, and federal public policy making. And you also show some strong leadership qualities. For instance, you are involved in on-campus activities, on-campus society involvement, and off-campus you are working with any NGO as a volunteer, etc. And your a high academic achievement should be there. So at least GP of 70% should be there when you are applying for SUSI 2023 program. And your involvement in extracurricular activities should be extensive. So you should be socially active while you are in your university. How they shortlist on the basis of your English language fluency. You just have to just conversational skills. There is no any IELTS, there is no any TOEFL. Just you have to write your essays and application process consisting of 2 essays, essay questions, and 1 personal statement. That is the only writing that you have to do in entire program. Apart from that, you sustain high level of academic achievements, grades, awards, and participation in academic programs or activities. As I already shared that your CGPA should be like CGP or percentage, it should be 3.5 or 70% while you are applying for this, because this is academic as well as extracurricular and cultural exchange or leadership program. You should be committed to community and extracurricular activities on campus and off campus, and committed to returning home to complete your degree. So that's why they are saying that when you are applying for your program, 1 semester should be left. How to apply? Just visit US Embassy Facebook page, or any their particular official website, or their Facebook page, US Consulate Facebook page, either US Embassy Facebook page. Just visit over there, and you will get the linked Word form that you have to fill. There is no need of submitting certificate. There is no need of certificate your submitting your resume or recommendation letters. No any English test or transcript, etc. There is nothing to be worried about these all stuff. Form can be downloaded only from embassy's official website. Just fill it and submit it through your personal email provided by embassy again. And the deadline for this year's program is October 28th. So there is plenty of time. You should start preparing your application. Yeah, so there are like what are the main components of this program? Your personal statement of 250 words and 2 short questions, 150 to 250 words each. So best wishes for your program, and if you have any questions, just our organizers will guide you for the proceedings of responding to questions. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much, Mr. Mohsen. Let us move towards our second speaker, Ms. Noorul Rahman from BS English 6th semester. She is the alumni of Sister to Sister Exchange Program 2022. She got placed at Boston University for a fully funded scholarship. Hello, Noorul.
Hello, Sunera. Thank you for having me. I'm so excited to be here and really grateful for you guys for holding such an amazing session. It's amazing to see some familiar faces in the audience. Ma'am, do you want me to share my screen myself, or would you share it on your own? I can share it on
Please
Ma'am.
go ahead.
Okay, sure. I'll do it on Ma'am. Okay, I hope you guys can see my screen. Okay, so hello everybody. I am Noorul Rahman. I went to Boston University in the summer of 2022. I got selected for the Sister to Sister. I hope I'm audible.
No.
Arif, please mute your mic.
Everyone, please mute your mics.
Okay. So I got selected for the Sister to Sister Exchange program in 2022. 2021 was a totally virtual session. So I was kind of lucky to not be selected for it. I got selected in 2022. I went to Boston University with another girl from Quetta. So the thing, first of all, I'd like to focus more on how you can benefit from this session. Because everybody knows the major information about this program. So I just want to give you some basic information on how you can apply, how you can make your application stronger, and how you can increase your chances of getting selected. So this program is just for the girls. I'm really sorry, boys, you guys can apply to the SUSI exchange program. The Sister Sister Exchange program is funded by the US Department of State, but it also has a number of other partners. The best thing about it is that you get scholarships from 2 universities, not just one. you get a scholarship from American University, which is in Washington, D.C., and then you get a scholarship from your host university, like mine was Boston University. So you get two scholarships. And then it is also funded by IRN USA and the Society for International Education, which has its headquarters in Karachi. It organizes the entire session. I'll give a brief introduction, which Zanera already gave, but just to cover the basic points, this program is primarily for young women in Pakistan, and it aims at empowering them, and it aims at giving them the resources and the experience to overcome the social and cultural barriers that hinder their entry and retention in the Pakistani workforce, because women make more than 50% of Pakistan's population, but unfortunately their efforts towards augmenting Pakistan's economy, they're not that as we want them to be. So this program aims at providing them the professional skills, the educational skills, the confidence, and the exposure that they can use for their future life. So as I mentioned, this program is a public-private partnership. It is led by American University, but it is also funded by the U.S. Department of State. So your visa, it's issued by the U.S. Department of State. And then it has a lot of partners, like I mentioned, IN USA, Society for International Education, and the best. Most people are very worried about this program because it is a highly competitive program. They only select 20 girls every year. It was actually 16 girls in 2021 and 23 girls in 2022. So it might make this program a very, very competitive, but at the same time, I feel like it's a lot better for you guys because, just like I mentioned, you get two scholarships, and also all the universities, like I'll be mentioning the universities later on, but all these universities come amongst the top 100 universities in the United States, or I guess top 50 universities in the United States. So when you have that on your resume, people usually know the universities that this program is a part of. Mostly the girls from science, technology, engineering, and mathematics fields are selected, but as Janera mentioned, I am a student of BS English, so I'm a social science student, and then again I got selected. So you can get selected even if you're not from the STEM fields. So what does this program include? This is a fully funded program. American University covers your travel cost. I actually have my information right here, so I can tell you the real statistics. So the airfare, visa fees, and health insurance that is covered by the American University. In my case, it came up to $4,485. And then the tuition and the fees, the academic fees, your host university covers that. Mine was covered by Boston University, and it came to about $3,080. And then your boarding and lodging, your room, your food, and everything, your host university covers that. It came up to about $2,566. And at the end, your books and supplies and your incidentals, which includes your transportation and your personal costs. That was $400 and $600 respectively. So that came up to a total of about $11,000. That is a lot of money, I know, but the U.S. Department of State and your host university collaborates to give you that. So you get accommodation, food, visa, health insurance, and everything else. You even get a small little stipend for your transportation in the city you get placed in. These are some of the former and current partner universities for this program. I was placed in Boston University. Some other are Georgetown, Worcester Polytechnic Institute, the University of Chicago, amazing university, University of Notre Dame, Purdue, you might all know about it, University of Colorado, both Denver and Boulder. Then we have James Madison, we have University of Richmond, we have University of Michigan, Virginia Tech, University of Southern California. Now you can see that most of them are related to the STEM fields, but they also offer social sciences and other components. I was placed in Boston University, and it has an amazing, amazing English department. I'll get into that later. Let's talk about the eligibility criteria. So obviously, you need to be a Pakistani citizen. If you hold dual nationality, you're not eligible. You must be a female student. As I mentioned, males are not eligible for this program. You must be 18 to 24 years old by June 1st, 2023. So as you know that the years in these such programs, they start from June, not January. So I have demarcated the boundary, so it's very easy. If you're born between 1st June 1999 to 1st June 2005, you can apply for this program, which is a pretty wide window, and I feel like most of us fall into that window. So you must have a minimum of 12 years of education, which means that even if you're in your first semester in your undergrad degree, you are eligible to apply. You must be enrolled in an undergraduate program at an accredited Pakistani university. And you must be committed to returning to Pakistan after completing the program. You cannot stay there, obviously. And because of that, you must have at least one semester or an equivalent term for the people who don't have semester systems. They have yearly systems. So you need to have at least one semester or an equivalent term to complete at your home university, which means your university in Pakistan when you come back. So you cannot apply if you are in your 8th semester for the 4-year undergrad degree, but you can if you're in your first semester. And then you must have demonstrated leadership potential at your university or your community level. You must be interested in learning about the United States, which all of us are, but you must be exceptionally devoted to it. You must have high grades, honors, and awards. And this program requires reference letters. Now, as I mentioned before, this is a highly competitive program. It has a 1.2% selection rate. So you need to have high grades and honors that can make your application shine amongst all the others, because they get thousands of applications. So you must have a CGPA of 70% or higher in the last 3 years. Now, most people were asking me questions about this, so I thought that I should explain this. The last 3 years means, okay, so if you, like, I'm in my 6th semester, for example, that's your 3rd year. So you need to provide your last 3 years transcripts, and the transcripts must have grades on them. So if you're from NUML, you need to have a transcript from the admin office. You need to apply for it, and it might take a week or so. So I'd suggest getting it as soon as possible. And then you must also be proficient in English, because you need to sit for 2 interviews. My interviews were online because of the COVID scenario during those time, but this time they're not expected to be online. One of them might be, but one of them might not be. So you need to be proficient in English, because there are members from the US Department of State, from the US Embassy, and even from several host universities. Female students with diverse backgrounds and with limited to no prior international travels are highly encouraged to apply. So if you haven't ever been outside of the Pakistan, as I wasn't, you're highly encouraged to apply. And so this is a very important. You must have never traveled to the United States before. So if you've traveled somewhere else other than United States, you are eligible to apply. But if you've traveled to United States, you're not. Students from low to middle income backgrounds or hailing from Balochistan, Northern Sindh, Southern Punjab, Khyber Pakhtunkhwa, Azad Jammu Kashmir, and Gilgit-Baltistan are highly encouraged to apply. So if you're from any of these backgrounds, you're highly encouraged to apply. But at the same time, that doesn't mean that only students from these backgrounds are going to be selected. I am from Central Punjab, and that does not make that much of a difference. But these are highly encouraged to apply. And generally, students in their 2nd or 3rd year of university are highly encouraged to apply, because these students are placed in research programs in universities. And I saw with my fellow students that these research programs were really amazing. They got to learn about research skills. And you know that most Pakistan universities are they lack in research skills. So that's a really big addition to your academic standing. One thing, as I mentioned, in 2022, there were 23 students who were selected. I think more than 8 or 9 of them were from the medicine background. So 8 or 9 seats were taken up by doctors. But in this program, in this year, medicine is out. So those 8 to 9 seats, they're up for grabs for you guys. So that's a very big plus point. You can easily come onto their seats, because medicine students won't be selected this year. So there are a few documents that you need. First of them is your photograph. It should be professional. It should not be a selfie. It should be very professional, and it should not be later than 6 months. You should have your national identification certificate, which means your CNIC or your smart card or even your passport. Then you should have your 3 years transcript, which I already mentioned. You should also have a reference letter. Now, this reference letter can be from your teacher who is tweeting you right now, who taught you in the past. It can be from a counselor, or it can even be from your employer if you've been working somewhere. But it cannot be obviously from a friend or a family member. You can get your reference letter from any of your university students, university teachers. I got mine from my university teacher. And then you also need to have a university or college admission letter, which is kind of an admission letter which shows that you are a student of that particular institute. And for normal students specifically, you can get it from your HOD. You also need to have your COVID. Let me hide this. You also need to have your COVID vaccination certificate, which I feel like most of us have. So this is the major document that they see at most airports. Everybody's very interested in your COVID vaccination there. So you can apply for this program at www.sister2sister.pk. They have their application there. You can make an account. And when you make an account, they also send you an automatic email that entails all of the documents that you must have ready before your application. So you can take benefit from that too. Apply online. There's another thing that I would like to mention here. Let me just stop my screen sharing. Okay, so apart from this application, you need to answer 5 questions. There is not, they don't require one single personal statement as a new grad. You need to answer 5 questions. Now, the first question is you need to share your story. And you can answer this prompt by reflecting on your hobby. You can reflect on any facet of your personality. You can describe any experience that you had that is genuinely meaningful and unique to you. And I usually say that to my colleagues who ask me, try not to make it too professional. I'd say my answer to this question was kind of like a story, and it was very informal. I told them what I'm like. I told them what I'm not like. I told them my hobbies, and it was kind of like a very. I'm a student of BS English, so it was very philosophical. But I would suggest that you guys take this question a little informally and don't try to kind of make them think that you're a very you've used a thesaurus while writing it. So I'm just telling you to like write from your heart. I've noticed that a lot, that people who write from their heart, they have a greater chance of getting selected, because if you read your writing and then it means something to you, it makes you feel something, it is likely to make somebody else feel something too. And if somebody else is feeling something, it is a very, very big plus point. Your application is already distinguished from them. The second question is that you have to recall a time when you faced a challenge, a setback, or a failure. You need to answer how it affected you and what did you learn from that experience. Now, this can be really personal. I'm not going to read my answers out loud here, but this can be really personal. You can mention anything that that made you feel like a failure, although nothing is a failure in life. You can tell them that you thought it was a failure at that time and then how you learned from it. Then again, you don't need to be too professional. You can be really informal. You can like I wrote here, I learned the importance of Nike's tagline, how significant it is to just do it one day at a time. Like I wrote that there, and it was really informal. You can do that too. The third question is describe a problem you have solved or a problem you would like to solve. Now, this comes under the category of what change you would like to make in your Pakistani society. It can be an intellectual challenge, it can be a research query, an ethical dilemma, anything that is of personal importance, no matter the scale. So, you need to explain its significance to you, and you need to explain what steps you took or what you wish to take to identify a solution. No, I feel like this is a very easy question to answer. You just need to take a look around, and there are thousands of things that you would wish you could change in Pakistan. Take one thing that means a lot to you, write about it, how it makes you feel, and what you would like to do or what you have done to solve it. The fourth question is a very typical one. How do you plan to utilize your experiences in sister to sister exchange program upon your return to Pakistan? This is also very typical and very important. And I've had this question asked more than 2 times during my interviews. They're going to ask you this again and again. And you need to have an answer that makes them listen to you, because they're really, really sick of listening that you'll just learn the US activities and then apply to Pakistan, all the typical things. No, please don't do that. Make sure that your answer is distinguishable. It's practical, and it makes the other person feel like you're saying it out of your heart, and it's original. Make sure that you don't Google what you can do to make Pakistan better. Just write and tell them what you think you should do and what we should do as a society. The last question is, what is your goal for 3 years from now? How will the Sister to Sister program help you achieve it? Another question that you can be really informal in, I okay, so all of these questions should be 250 words each, but you can not exceed from it. Please don't do that. It makes a very bad impression if your answers are exceeding 250 words, but they can be less than 250 words. So I wrote here, I'll just share one line. My goal is to maintain my 3.94 GPA and take it up to 4 in the upcoming years, get a gold medal, and apply for a master's degree, preferably somewhere abroad. Now, this seems very typical. Everybody has that those goals, but you can add a lot of stuff before and after it that makes them feel like you're really passionate about it, and you think that this program will equip you with the resources to achieve your goals. And if you do that, I feel like it's going to have a really, really good impression on your application. Now that is it for the application. Once you're selected, your application goes through a screening process. You need to sit for an interview. Just like I mentioned, there will be a lot of people there. It would be good if you don't ask them what they're saying the second time, because most of them are going to be English. They're going to be speaking English. They're not English. They're from the USA, but it would be great if you understand it on the first go, because you're going to be living there. And then they'll ask you these normal questions that are going to stem from these 5 questions. They'll ask you how you think you're the best. Yeah, I remember they asked me, why do you think we should select you? Now they're going to ask you that, and you're going to feel like, okay, you're going to have an existential crisis right there at that moment. But I'm just telling you that because I had that crisis and I thought, okay, why do I think I should be selected? So make sure that you have all those answers before you sit for the interview. Then you have to sit for another interview, a second interview, and then some universities require you to pass an English language proficiency test. Boston University did not require me to do that, so I did not have to sit for that, but some of my colleagues did. It's from Duolingo. It's a basic test. If you're proficient, most of us are proficient in English and we can pass that. It's not that big a deal. And I think that's it. Then you're selected, and then you have to go for a visa interview, which is just a formality because you've already been awarded a scholarship from the US Department of State. So that expedites your visa process. And that's it. A lot of people also ask me how my experience was there. If I experienced any racism, I experienced any prejudice. Personally, in my case, that was not true. I went to Boston, and that is kind of the educational hub in the USA because it has more than 30 universities there. It has MIT. It has Cambridge right next to it. So Boston and Cambridge are just like Pindi and Islamabad, but closer. You cannot walk to Islamabad on foot, but you can easily walk to Cambridge on foot. You just have to cross one river. It's very easy. So Cambridge has Harvard University, it has MIT, Massachusetts Institute of Technology, which is really famous there. Boston has many institutes. It has Boston University, it has Boston College, it has Emirates, it has Berkeley School of Music. So it's kind of like an educational hub. And if you go there, you'll see that a lot of students there, a lot of people there are intellectuals. So you don't really feel like you're out of place. I did not get any cultural shock there. I had reverse cultural shock when I came back because I came back on 14th of August and it was mad here. The roads were jam-packed. So you might not have any difficulty there. You will not have any difficulty in the food too. It's not as bland as Pakistanis like to say it is. You'll have a lot of fun there. I was really intrigued by how people are nice there. The application deadline is 31st of October, so you do have more than 15 days. You will need some time to go through the application and get the documents, so make sure that you start early so that you can end early. The website gets jammed at the end sometimes. So that's it. If you guys have any questions, I'm here to answer.
And thank you so much, Nurilan, for joining us and giving such an informative details to our audience. I have been noticing that our audience are waiting for something, isn't it? Now I will begin our last segment, which is question answer session. But before jumping
Okay,
into that,
just a second.
ma'am.
Sorry, Natasha, just a second. Can we hear Mohsen back?
Yes, ma'am, I'm here.
Okay. Would you like to go over the application process again? Because the slides weren't clear at that time.
Yeah, sure. Why not? So I was just focusing on the personal statement thing, which is slightly different than the program that Noor shared. So in this, like, there are some prompts in this, personal statement as well. So I've already shared that form can be downloaded from Embassy's official website, and you just have to fill the Word form. There is no need to submit any reference letter. There is no need to submit any official document from university, resume, or certificates, or any English language test. Just there is simple Word form that you have to fill. And apart from that, uh, in personal statement, you have to respond to two prompts. The first one is the first one asks you about, tell us about yourself and your goals, in which you have to mention your background, your academic background, as well as your cultural background, and your goals as well. And then the second prompt for this personal statement is that why do you think your background and interests make you competitive for this particular institute. So you have to be as specific as possible. You are not supposed to just generalize the things. You have to focus one element from your experiences, and you have to just jot down all these um your experiences, and everything should be clearly coherent with that one particular element of yours. And then the third uh, prompt for this personal statement is that how do you expect this experience will affect you personally or professionally. So you have to mention that what kind of benefit you'll get from this program at a personal and a professional level when you are returning back to Pakistan, and also what you will contribute to the group. So apart from academic journey and your experiences, you also have to mention about your culture, because this is also a sort of cultural exchange program. It's not like completely academic program, but there is also an academic element added into it. And then you have to respond to two short questions. These are very straightforward questions. You have to do some research your particular interest and particular element of your experience that you are focusing on. So you have to give one example of a particular program that you believe is outdated, and how you as a student leader would address if you were given in a leadership role. So you have to mention uh, you know some sort of actions that you will take as a policy maker. You have to just pretend like a policy maker and mention policy amendment. Do some research. There are lovely research papers available, uh, particularly on Pakistani policies. There is a lot of critics happening on policy making. You will find out lots of opinion pages. Just get idea from them relevant to your idea and your interest of policy that you are focusing on. And the last question is about, what one initiative would you personally like to start at your local neighborhood or community level. So you have to mention any community initiative, again focusing on your personal interest, and any social issue or any element of your degree program. So just take one example and make all these responses personal statement, connecting with that idea. And then how would you plan, implement, and measure its success. So just you have to jot down the elements of project management, how you will fund that particular program, how you're going to measure that program, and what kind of benefits your community will get after implementation of this program. I would also like to mention do's and don'ts of personal statement. Just be as specific as possible. You do not have to, dive deeper into various stories or other things. Just be to the point and straightforward. There is no need of writing down fancy words and jargon. There is nothing to worry about language, because this program is not focusing on your academic things, but it's focusing more on your leadership skills and how you are taking initiative in your community after attending this program. And be concise, and be you. You know your story better than anyone else. Just try to share your own experiences and your own ideas. Start with any experience or hobby or achievement, and take it as process, not a product. You all are language learners, so particularly this PowerPoint presentation was for a student of education. So we are not like being taught writing skills the way you guys do, I'm assuming. So don't start, just avoid listing your experiences. Instead, mention what you learned or achieved from those experiences, and don't plagiarize. Uh, of course, every application process, be it sister to sister exchange program, UGRADE or SUSI, they check plagiarism. So just avoid that. Just be as authentic as possible, and don't lie or exaggerate. If you have just been part of any society, just mention active member or part of any society. Do not exaggerate or lie that you have led this session or you were the executive director of that particular society, etc. Just mention that particular uh, you know um, particular kind of what we call it, the category or any position that you were assigned in that particular society. Keep word limit in mind, because again, this software there is this software which they do sort of a review through that particular software, and it has your application simply will just go in vain if you are exceeding or decreasing the word limit. And avoid, again I would say that don't use any fancy words or anything like that. Just be simple as possible.
Hello,
And after completing this program, you become part of alumni network, and there are 12 chapters across Pakistan, and you will be having
hello.
opportunity to apply for different funding projects. So, and there are a lot of other workshops and conferences happening all across Pakistan through Pakistan US alumni network. So you become part of that. So yeah, if you have any questions, I'm here to respond to those.
Hello,
Okay, thank you so much, Mr. Mohsen, for again explaining all of things for us.
hello,
Now, I'm moving toward the question and answer session. But before
hello.
jumping there,
Hold
please
on for a
mute your mic.
second.
Ma'am, I'm audible to you.
Yes, you are audible, but please wait for some minutes. Okay, the last segment is question answer segment. First, you all have to off your mics and just raise your hand. I will call out your name one by one, and then you have to ask question, and our alumni will be addressed that. One more thing, that try to sit at a place where external noise is minimum. I will do it one by one, so just wait for your turn. So, firstly, Wajahat, please ask your question from alumni.
And thank you, ma'am. I have to Mohsin sir. Hello,
Yes, ask
Yes,
your
you are
question.
audible.
and thank you, ma'am. I have a question from Mohsin sir.
Yes,
Hello.
please go ahead.
And sir, I have a question that you have mentioned, and the CGPA is required 3.5. So what about the first semester student? Can the first semester student applied are eligible for this program or not? And the second question is that, and if the first semester student are eligible, where will be the interview conducted for an nomination or selection? This was my question.
Okay, so I would like to respond to this question. So first of all, students from first semester are not eligible to apply. Uh, Yeah, so you're not eligible to apply because you need to have some sort of, extracurricular activities experience on campus. So just right now, it's your chance to, be member of various societies on your campus and just build your resume and just have some experiences and apply next year. And for the interview, like the first first step is your application, which you are submitting through your email, the Word document. And if you are getting shortlisted, you have to give interview through online, through Zoom or any other mode. Yes.
Thank you, sir. Thank you.
Okay, thank you. Next one is Muhammad Shahid. Yes, Muhammad Shahid.
Unmute
I
yourself
think.
and ask the question.
Okay, next one is Manur. Please ask your question.
Thank you so much. Actually, what I wanted to ask was that I'm a student of Bridging. I usually attend such seminars where we're talking about scholarships and certain programs. And I have a very basic question: is that are Bridging students, eligible for such scholarships? Because I'm constantly getting a no. UGRAD previously did provide this opportunity. I want to know if this scholarship gives you the opportunity to apply for these scholarships, programs, etc.
Yes, yes, Manur, you can apply. All the bridging students can apply, but make sure that you have some transcript, some GPA in your hand. If you have like zero semester, bridging zero,
Yes,
definitely you'll get the result of that when you are in bridging one. Bridging one is equal to the fifth semester of BS English. So make sure you have the CGPA or the result of bridging zero at least.
ma'am, I have been very consistent in my studies. I started off with 3.89 and I'm consistent with 3.7 CGP and I'm currently in bridging third, which is equivalent to 7 semester. So is that a good thing? Like,
Definitely. Why not a good thing? This is what I'm saying. You can apply even bridging one first and second semester can also apply because they'll be equivalent to fifth and sixth semesters. But
yes,
for fifth semester, just make sure, and you can tell your colleagues and your juniors as well, that they should have the result of CGPA of bridging zero before applying.
sure, sure, ma'am. I'll
And
let the bridging department know about this as well.
yes, and good luck for all the scholarships. I mean, you can apply to all the scholarships. Don't worry.
Okay, thank you so much, ma'am. Thank you so much. That was
Thank you.
all.
For sharing that. Next one is Manur Ali. Manur Ali. Okay, if she's not
Yeah,
here, then
Assalamu alaikum. Sorry. Yeah, my question is for Nurulan. So basically, all the other seminars that we have attended, they always said that you need to be free from June to August, and you can't say at the last moment that I have some other commitment. So because for our university, our examinations are always in June. Were you free? Like, when did they call you? Were you able to like make time, or did it clash with your final exams?
Thank you for your question, Manu. Actually, the department, the Society for International Education, they asked me if I would be available at the end of June, and I said that I wouldn't be because I have my exams. So they pushed me forward to the end of July. So at the start of July, sorry. So I went on 5th of July. You can ask them, and if they have that window, they can push the deadlines for you. Because Boston University offered two summer courses, summer one and summer two. I was not available for summer one. I communicated that to them, and they were nice enough to extend the deadline to summer two, so I was able to go there. So that depends on, I would say, the host university you were placed in. I was fortunate that Boston University had two courses, but most universities just have one. So if they have one, you need to go there, and you may ask your university administration to manage the exams somehow. But if your host university is offering flexible deadlines, the program helps you in that regard. So they did help me, and I went after giving my exams. I hope that answers your question.
Yeah,
And
so basically,
even your own university will definitely help you because they helped the grad students as well. You can come back and take the final exams as well. If you talk to the HOD, dean, and obviously the director CAD, they will help you, don't worry.
okay. And the next thing I wanted to ask was in the first page of the application process, they ask for the percentages, and it's year by year, but we have a sort of semester like system. So what semester CGPA, like what should we put since it just says 2019 to 2020?
Yes, for that. So if you have, for example, your second year FST second year exam, you can easily put that percentage right there. But if you have the semester systems, you need to take out the aggregate of the two semesters. You need to add the total marks, and then you need to add the obtained marks. Divide that by 100, and you'll get your percentage. And then you need to put that in your yearly result.
Okay, thank you so much.
No problem.
Okay, thank you
Thank
so
you.
much. Next one is Exazia. Please ask your question.
Hello,
Exazia.
my question was, yeah, can you hear me?
Yes, you are audible.
Okay, so my question was basically this that our academic calendar, how do we have to write? Because there are 2 semesters, right? So do we have to write the academic calendar from of starting from one semester, ending in the other semester, or do we have to write the academic calendar of just one semester?
I'm sorry, Aksa, I couldn't understand your question. There was some distortion. Your voice was distorted in the first half.
Okay. So basically, my question is this that they asked us to mention the academic calendar of our university. So it's split into semesters. So we have to include both semester. For example, in NUML, the academic calendar starts from February and ends next year in January. So we have to write it in that way, or do we have to split it and write it in both semesters?
You need to write it in both semesters because you are going to be free between those semesters. And they're essentially looking for that gap between the semesters where you'll be free to go abroad. That is what they looked for because this is a summer program. So you need to mention the start that is kind of an yearly based thing, but you need to divide it in semesters so that they have a knowledge of when you'll be free in the middle of those 2 semesters.
Yeah, but basically they have given us only option of start month and end month. So what do we have to do? Right here, do we have to write it like March to June or March to May? Do we have to write it
Yes,
like that?
your semester start and end dates.
Okay. Okay, perfect. And second of all, you were saying that you mentioned that yeah, you mentioned that to them that I'll be available. Like, can the dates be shifted? But in the application, what did you write? Did you write that will you be available for the summer program, or did you write that no, I won't be available because in June we all have to give exams, right?
Okay, so they don't ask you in the application if you'll be available or not because, as I mentioned, it depends on the host university you get placed in. Some host universities start in May, others start in August. So that really depends on your application and where you get placed. They usually ask you that after you're placed, after the host university offers you a scholarship. If you're not available by then, as I mentioned, your host university and your home university, both of them will work to facilitate you. If
Okay.
not, yeah,
Mm-hmm.
go ahead.
But I think right now I can see the application, and
Hmm.
here there is a question that will you be available for the entire summer program
Hmm.
duration from June 2030, 2023 to August 2023.
Yeah, you just say that you are available because you will be
Okay.
available. Yeah.
Okay, so second of all, I am in sixth semester right now, right? So there is a question that will you be in your final year of study in the year 2023? So technically, I'll be in the final year, but I won't be in the, in the final semester. So what do we have to write? Do I have to write yes or do I have to write no?
When do you graduate?
In 2024,
So
in
that will be
2025. Yes, because in the January of 2025.
your last year, 2025.
Okay, okay, perfect. Thank you.
Okay, thank you so much. Next one is Manal Khalid.
Assalamu alaikum. I had a question for Miss Nuruddin. I am a first semester BS first semester English student, and I really wanted to ask: is there any general advice you have for like getting a good GPA in our first semester? Because my fellow classmates and we are very intimidated by the professors, and we think they're lenient in class, but when they check our assignments, we're getting like 7.5 out of 15 or 8 out of 15. So I just wanted to know if you had some advice on how we can calm down
Manal,
and
this
do
is
our
this
best.
is not the platform to ask such questions. And why would Noor would tell you? I mean, what kind of tips you are you expecting from Noor? I mean, you should ask this from your teachers. Why are you getting such low marks?
Uh, Actually, ma'am, I thought because Nouralan, she's a senior student, so she must have some experience.
Yes, but
And
she's here
Manal,
presenting
you can
about sister
ask
to
me in the
sister. Yes.
university. You can ask me in the university. I'll be happy to give you some tips. I'm in sixth
Uh,
semester, section C. Feel free to ask me in the university.
okay,
okay,
I
thank
think
you,
you
Noor.
can explain this after we're done with all the questions. Noor, you can explain this in one or two sentences. How to
Okay,
get
sure.
good GPA. All right.
Thank you.
Anyone else, please?
Okay, anyone else have a question? Yes, Ariba, do ask. I think Ariba is not here. So Ikra, please do ask question.
Assalamu alaikum. I want to ask that can second semester student apply for sister to sister program?
Yes, absolutely, you can apply. You just need to provide your
Okay.
previous 3 years transcripts. That will obviously include your FSC results. And if it's more than
Okay.
70%, you're good to go.
If it is 65%?
I'd say that take your chances and do apply. Although they require 70% because it's a very competitive program, but please don't be disheartened. Do apply, take your chances.
Okay. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much. Okay, anyone else having question? Do raise your hand.
Ikra Noreen, you can ask question now.
I'm done.
Yes, ma'am, she is done.
Any questions from Mohsen about SUSI program? Yes, Noor, you can answer Manal's question.
Amanal, I'd just like to say that please observe the behaviors of your teachers because I know that first semester can be very daunting. All you need to do is make sure that you write your exam in the way that different teachers require because different teachers have different requirements. Some of them want you to be elaborate, some of them want you to be concise. So I just give a general advice that please observe what your teacher wants, how your teacher teaches during the class, because generally the way that teachers teach in class, that is the way they expect students to reproduce their information in the exams too. So it may be different for different teachers. You might have 5 or 6 teachers. Just make little notes of the it may I'm not asking you to be very stalkerish. You just need to observe their behavior during class and try to reciprocate that when you give your exam because obviously whatever we put together as input, we're expecting the same as output. So that's just what I can give you other advice too, but not at this platform. You can come see me in university, obviously.
All right, thank you so much.
Okay, thank you so much. Next one is Barkat.
Yes, ma'am. Assalamu alaikum to all of you. I have a question about GPA. I wanted to do apply for SUSI. I am in fourth semester and I have 2.8 CGPA. Me should do apply or not? It does depend on GPA, CGPA or not. This tells something about.
Yeah, so Barkat, in which semester you are currently studying?
Yeah, I'm in fourth semester.
Fourth semester. And do you have like 70% in your overall academics?
Yeah, it is 70%.
Yeah, then you are good to go. Just apply for it. If you have some extracurricular experiences and you know your GPA is fine, just go for it.
Okay, thank you. Thank you.
Okay, thank you so much. Anyone having any question? Yes, Exa, do ask question.
So I have a question for Noor that in Sister to Sister Exchange program, we have to provide three transcripts of the previous 3 years, but we have to apply, we have to take our transcripts from the admin office and whether we have to take separate transcripts of having 2 semesters in them or whether we have to just take one transcripts having all the semesters grades on it.
Mhm.
Yeah.
So Akshay, when you go to the admin office, they'll ask you for the income. They'll ask you if you want a transcript or you want a semester result. So they're two different things. The semester result is just for one semester, but if you go for the incomplete transcript, that will be just one document that will have the result of all the semesters on it. You would need to submit a fee, which is I guess 1,000 rupees. So you need to submit that, and then you'll get one document that will have all of your results on it, along with the grading scheme. And the grading scheme is what they require. So that is why you cannot submit the individual results because they don't have the grading scheme. They just have the marks. So the one transcript is enough. It will have all of your results on it.
Okay.
Okay, thank you so much. So I think it's done now. Thank you so much for such an interactive question and answer session. It's up to you, Zunaira.
In the end, I would like to thank our guests for giving us their precious time. Special thanks to the focal person, Ma'am Miram Shehzadi, for organizing this webinar. I would also thank all the participants for joining. I hope you would have found this session helpful. Career Planning Society keeps on organizing such events, so stay connected to the Facebook and Instagram pages so that you don't miss any updates. Thank you so much, everyone, for joining.
Thank you, guys. Thank you, everyone. Thank you, Mohsin and Noor. And thank you, everyone, for joining.
You're welcome, man. Thank you so much for having me. Have a good day ahead.